Welcome. Survey finds Americans are wildly misinformed on housing market. That is the title of a new article dated 24th of January by The Hill. You can find this article online. Um, yeah, my question is, right, how are you misinformed when you're watching Jerome and real estate all the time, right? You shouldn't be misinformed. I'm giving all kinds of info. I am on LinkedIn, Facebook, all the socials, YouTube, Instagram. Subscribe, click the follow, find me, right? But yeah, let's get into this article here. So, a new survey finds Americans are woefully misinformed about the nation's mercurial housing market, even as millions of them prepare to buy homes in 2023, right? This year. And they're woefully misinformed about it. Let's figure out why. So, this article says that 28 million Americans plan to purchase a home in 2023. Cool, good plans. Except they are allocating or they're hoping to spend $269,200. $269,000. That is what the majority of these 28 million Americans who plan on buying a home this year, that's what they hope to spend. What is the problem with that? Well, the problem is that the median home price in December was $388,100. Think about that. If 28 million Americans think that they are about to spend $269,000, even though the median home price is at $388,000, what do you think is going to happen? All them hopes and dreams, you can hear them kind of just crumbling, right? You can hear them crumbling. They're $100,000 short of the median price. So this is how far off their expectations are from reality. Interesting. So, real estate economists do not believe in an imminent crash, but for some reason, 2/3 of Americans surveyed said they expect an imminent crash. Now, I'm going to go into, why I am also one of these real estate professionals who does not believe in an imminent crash. A rebalancing, maybe a little bit of a downturn, but an imminent crash is probably not what I'm expecting. All right. But for some reason, 2/3 of Americans who were surveyed said that they expect an imminent crash. Somehow they are getting it into their heads, aside from the real estate experts, that there's going to be a crash. And that's what they're waiting on, right? That's part of the reason why they believe that $269,000 is going to be okay for them to purchase this home, right? Even though the median is over $100,000 above that. All right. So here's another head scratcher for you in the same article, right? 61% of Americans told pollsters current mortgage rates are unprecedented. That's what they told the pollsters. And when they say unprecedented, they meant that these mortgage rates have never been seen before. So I don't mean to be, really just laughing, right? But it is a little bit hilarious that we're not listening. We're not actually researching what we plan to do. Our expectations are so far off, right? The average rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage hit 6.15% last week. Okay. That's nationally. Now, over the last 50 years, according to NerdWallet, the 30-year mortgage rate averaged 7.75%. That was the average. That means it could have dipped below, it could have dipped higher, right? And what you need to do to really understand this is, go ask your parents, go ask your grandparents about what mortgage rates had been in the past, what type of rates they used to get, right? You're going to start hearing things like 13%. Some of the higher ones, you'll see 16, 17%, right? If they nabbed it at its peak. Imagine that. Imagine grabbing a mortgage rate at the same interest rate that your credit card is usually at, right? Think about that. So, for the past decade or so, home buyers have been a little bit spoiled by extremely low interest rates historically. Just extremely low. And that's what we've gotten used to. And that's why so many of these respondents are thinking that, oh, well, these mortgage rates are unprecedented. And all we're at, we're at fives and sixes, right? And they believe that these mortgage rates are unprecedented. Interesting. So, runaway inflation prompted a dramatic series of hikes in 2022, which pushed mortgage rates back to normal levels. That's what this article is saying. We went back to normal levels, at least in a historical sense, right? That's what I've been trying to tell you this entire time, right? We're normalizing, we're rebalancing, okay? The pace that we were moving at with those low interest rates for so long was unsustainable. And now we're rebalancing the market. So the rates that you're seeing right now, this could be in for a long haul. Prepare yourself for that. So we know from the past 5 years, roughly 10% of Americans say they're going to purchase a home in the next 12 months, which is wildly optimistic. Huh. Part of it could be that they're unaware of what's going on in the housing market. Once again, why are you unaware? You got me. Subscribe. Get them. Like, follow, right? I sit down and I read these articles. I sit down, I study the markets. I sit down, I try to figure out what's going on. I go out and I'm meeting with sellers and buyers. I'm doing the open houses. And then I'm reporting back to you what I'm seeing on the ground, what I'm seeing nationally through these articles that I'm reading all the time, right? And then I'm just giving it to you. So you shouldn't be one of the ones that are misinformed. But now you know that there are quite a few out there, thousands of people, millions of people who are just misinformed about where our housing market is and where it might be headed. Okay? Listen to this, and this is the last little piece from the article, right? 70% of Americans who had planned to buy a home in 2022 did not succeed. 70% of them did not succeed. Some of them made offers that were not accepted. Others shelved their plans because they couldn't find affordable homes. And that is also one of those issues where pre-planning probably didn't go into effect because they were originally misinformed about the home buying process in the first place, right? They were misinformed about what rates they should really plan for. What are good rates? What are bad rates? And honestly speaking, for me, there are no good or bad rates. What it is that there are people who are very well prepared and people who are not very well prepared. So no matter what the rate is, you can still get ready. You can be ready to purchase a home regardless of the rate, right? But let's take a step back and let's say to ourselves here, just for, fun, let's say that this article is completely incorrect, right? Let's say that the National Association of Realtors, the chief economist, he's completely incorrect, right? There will be a crash. Let's suppose everything is going to crash, right? And you are actually prepared to buy a home now, right? Let's say it's before the crash. Well, if they are wrong and you purchase a home now and then everything crashes, what do you have? Well, you have a home that you were prepared for before, mortgage rates completely went down the tubes, right? That means you hold a high mortgage rate, then everything crashed and, mortgage rates are falling, blah, 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 right? Let's say that crash happens while you have your house. Guess what? Refinance and then match your mortgage rate to what it's supposed to be, right? I'm not going to call that, a win-win or anything like that, but that's how you get past that. That's how you catch up because you've already got into the market. right? You already have the house. If things crash, right, and the rates fall all the way down, a little while after that, once rates are way, way, way down, guess what's going to happen? People are going to start rushing back into the market because money is cheap again, right? Rates are going to be way, way down back to, ridiculously low levels. And that is going to start driving competition and driving prices back up. So you got to pick your poison, right? There's always going to be a downside and an upside to things. You just have to be prepared for the one that you want. You got to be prepared, right? So I think that's about it. Checking this article out, I have to say I'm actually pretty surprised at how misinformed many of the respondents in this survey actually are, right? I'm pretty surprised at that. But hopefully, you're out there. Just the fact that you're looking at this, actually, that you should be able to pat yourself on the back a little bit and know that you're actually doing a little bit of research. You're actually listening to things that are happening in the housing market. And when you've got that friend who you need to give a recommendation to, or you need to talk to them about what's going on in the housing market, you can be that voice of reason, right? Or you can send them to someone who should know a little bit more about it, right? So good on you for actually being able to, for taking the time to watch something like this. Thanks a lot. Catch me next time.